So you got a hot pull from your Mysteries of Mythos blind box and you're ready to make a trade. Here are my do's and don'ts for navigating the trade market of the Mythic Legions Cabal Facebook group. And I just want to give a huge shout out to my friend Curtis Ackerman who messaged me with this video idea and a few tips to add to the mix. So let's get into this list. And before we begin, I'd just like to acknowledge the fact that this video is definitely not going to be for everyone. If you're not on Facebook, if you're not in Facebook groups and you don't do trading and buying and selling in the Facebook groups, this is probably a video that's going to have very little interest to you. But even if you're not in the Mythic Legions Cabal Facebook group, I do think there are some good tips here for just general etiquette and ways to go about trading and buying and selling in the Facebook collector action figure community. Okay, starting off with my do's. Try to trade for what you need. Sometimes selling a figure for cash to buy what you need might be the only option. But when possible, go for the trade, especially if you're in a community that is a community and that is full of people with relationships and, a fun place to kind of interact. It'll save you a step and it will promote those community relationships. This is an opportunity to have a fun, robust, friendly marketplace experience. And I think that that's one of the big benefits of this mystery box situation where a bunch of people have random things they might want, things they might have extras of, and there's just all these trade opportunities. Go for the trades. It's going to be a really fun time. Do know what you have and what you don't have. Some of the figures in these mystery boxes were recently selling for 200 plus, but that's just not going to be the case anymore for many of these figures, especially the ones that got reissued. With so many of these entering the market, many people will be reluctant to pay yesterday's price, whether that's cash or trade value. But at the same time, remember that some of these will still be harder to find than others, so don't expect everyone to value them all equally. Have an open mind and be flexible. Do know your audience. Some people in the group have built relationships over the course of years. Don't expect to be treated the same way by a stranger as you would by a friend. Also, many people in the Cabal respect the aftermarket value, but it's not eBay. If you list a mystery box figure for $200 in the Cabal, don't be surprised if others criticize that price. Do remember shipping cost. If you make a trade, you will need to pay shipping to send to your partner, so it's a good idea to mention which state you are in if you put up a trade offer, and try to trade with people who are geographically closer to you. Like once you factor in an additional shipping cost, the overall cost of the whole situation goes up. So factor that into your budget and make sure you're ready to, pay the shipping. Look into like ShipStation and weighing at home and all that stuff if you possibly can. But for the most part, just be aware and try to ship as close to you as possible. Because if you ship from Boston to California, it's going to be a lot more than shipping from Boston to Philadelphia. Do use references. Make sure you establish trust between you and your partner. This might honestly be one of the most important ones. The group is large and it's not difficult for a bad actor to weasel their way into the marketplace. So make sure you ask for references if you don't know your trade partner, and don't be offended if your trade partner does the same for you. This is very common practice and it's something that you should really make sure you do to cover your bases and not get screwed over. Do help each other out. If your sole purpose is to get what I want, then you have no right to expect the group to be generous to you. The only way a community can be great is if people are willing to help each other. If you see someone score what you consider to be an amazing trade, it probably comes down to the fact that they've been a positive, helpful member of the community. So you get out what you put in kind of situation in this. And my final do, when you have a figure that you pull that you think you want to trade, if you can't get the trade, consider keeping the figure. Think of it as an opportunity to be creative, something that kind of Mythic Legions is sort of all about. Maybe you've never done a pop and swap, give it a try. Or maybe the next step is to do some customization. There's nothing better than a random extra figure in the collection to do some experimentation. So I highly recommend not being too worried if you can't get a decent trade or you feel like there's no market for the figure that you pulled. Play around with it. Pop and swap. Mess with it. Customize. Be experimental. Okay, on to the don'ts. Don't try to get max value in the Cabal. As I said earlier, if you're looking to get $200 for a figure you just spent $40 on, the Cabal might not be the most welcoming place for you. Personally, I do think it is bad form to price shame in the comments of a sales post, but the Cabal is a pretty open forum, so don't be surprised if people tell you they think eBay is a better place for you if you're looking to get max value. Don't assume everyone will agree on what is fair. There will be disagreements about value, trust me. But remember, just because someone disagrees with you doesn't mean that you are being attacked. Though, if you are ever attacked or insulted, you should show the offender's comments to an admin. But keep in mind that there will be disagreements. And most of the time, 99% of the conversation, while there might be disagreement, is respectful disagreement. Don't get offended if someone disagrees with you. Don't complain about what you didn't get. No one wants to read yet another post about how burned you feel because you got two $50 MSRP figures for $37.50 each. It's understandable to feel disappointed, but don't present yourself as some sort of victim if you didn't get what you wanted. Likewise, don't gloat about your pulls either. And my last tip is don't hijack the comments of someone's trade post to complain about something else. Like, don't just hijack someone else's trade post to complain about mystery boxes in general. There's been plenty of posts on that topic. There's been plenty of people sharing their opinions about whether or not mystery boxes are a good thing. Go share your thoughts there, not on someone's trade post. And if you have any do's and don'ts when it comes to trading for these mystery boxes, any tips about valuation, any tips about what you think people should do, etiquette, anything like that, put them in the comments below. Thanks for watching my video, and until next time, may the force be with you.